You are sitting in your car outside the office parking garage. It is 6:42 in the morning. The city is still half asleep. The sky is gray. Your coffee is untouched. Your work badge is lying in the cup holder like it belongs to someone else. On your phone, an email draft is open. Only 5 words are written. I am resigning. Effective immediately. Your thumb hovers over send. Not because you hate work, not because you won the lottery. Your mortgage still exists. Your kids still need things. Health insurance is still expensive. The future is still uncertain. But something happened last night. Something quiet, something nobody on your team knows about. Your spouse called you from the kitchen and said, "We need to talk." There was a spreadsheet open on the laptop. There was a number at the bottom. There was silence in the room. And then there was one question. Are we really going to do this? Now you are here, 45 years old, sitting outside a building that has owned your mornings for nearly 2 decades. People are walking past your windshield with laptop bags, tired eyes, and the same face you used to wear. They are entering the machine. You are not sure if you are leaving it. Because the scariest part of early retirement is not running out of money. It is finding out who you are when the paycheck no longer tells you. And to understand why this moment is even possible, you have to go back to the decision nobody saw. The decision that happened years earlier, when you looked successful from the outside and trapped from the inside. At first, your life did not look broken. It looked responsible. You had a job, a decent title, a home with a mortgage, a car that started every morning. Your life looked normal. And that is what made it dangerous. Because normal slowly becomes invisible. You wake up tired and call it Monday. You sit in traffic and call it adulthood. You miss dinner and call it providing. You answer emails at night and call it being dependable. Nobody says you are trapped. They say you are doing well. But inside, something is shrinking. Not loudly, not dramatically, just little pieces of you. A Saturday lost to exhaustion. A dream postponed until things calm down. A vacation ruined because your phone keeps buzzing. Every month your income walks in through the front door and leaves through 5 different exits. Rent, car payment, credit card, subscriptions. You are not broke. But you are not free. That difference matters. Because being broke is obvious. Being unfree can wear a nice watch. You start noticing people older than you. The ones who are 58, 62, 65, still working, still tired, still saying just a few more years. And something inside you whispers a question you try to ignore. What if that becomes you? Not because you failed, but because you never made the one decision that would have changed the direction of everything. The first raise feels like oxygen. You remember it clearly. For a moment you feel ahead. You imagine breathing easier, paying things off, saving more. But then life expands. Quietly, a better apartment, a bigger house, a newer car, a vacation because you have been working so hard. At first, nothing feels reckless. It feels earned. It feels like progress. And that is how lifestyle inflation hides. It never introduces itself as a trap. It arrives dressed as comfort. The problem is not that you buy nicer things. The problem is that every upgrade begins asking for future hours of your life. A bigger mortgage is not just a bigger payment. It is more years of needing the job. A newer car is not just a car. It is another reason you cannot walk away. A lifestyle built around your full income turns your paycheck into oxygen. And once oxygen is controlled by an employer, freedom becomes theoretical. This is where most people lose the chance to retire early without noticing. Not in one terrible decision, but in small, respectable upgrades. The kind nobody judges. The kind everyone expects. You tell yourself you will save more later, after the next raise, after the kids get older. But life does not naturally become less expensive. Life fills the container you give it. Your income is rising. Your stress is not falling. Your house is nicer. Your time is still owned. And somewhere deep inside, you begin to understand a hidden rule. A high income does not buy freedom if your lifestyle signs the receipt first. The decision does not look dramatic when it happens. No music. No announcement. No perfect moment. Maybe it happens at the kitchen table after everyone is asleep. Maybe it happens in the car after a long commute. You look at the numbers. Then you look at your life. And you decide something that sounds small, but changes everything. From now on, every raise, bonus, and extra dollar will buy freedom before it buys lifestyle. That is the decision. Not retiring. Not quitting. Not becoming rich overnight. Just refusing to let your lifestyle grow as fast as your income. It sounds simple. It is not. Because the moment you make that decision, your ego gets uncomfortable. Your coworkers upgrade their cars. You do not. Your friends book expensive trips. You pause. Your neighbors remodel their kitchens. You wait. Someone asks why you are still driving the same vehicle after your promotion. You laugh it off. But inside, you feel the pressure. Because the world is good at making restraint look like failure. If you earn more but do not spend more, people assume something is wrong. If you keep your lifestyle steady, nobody sees the freedom being built behind the scenes. This is where early retirees separate quietly from everyone else. They stop treating raises like permission. They treat raises like escape routes. A bonus becomes an investment. A tax refund becomes debt reduction. An old car becomes extra years of freedom. A smaller mortgage becomes a quieter mind. At first, nothing changes. The room is the same. Monday still arrives. But your money starts moving differently. A gap opens between what you earn and what you need. That gap is not boring. That gap is your future breathing. The freedom gap begins as a small number, maybe $300 a month, maybe $500. It does not feel powerful at first. It feels fragile. One repair could erase it. But slowly, the gap grows. Your income rises. Your lifestyle does not chase it. And then something strange happens. You begin to see your job differently. Not because you hate it, because you no longer worship it. Before, the job was survival. Now it is a tool. Still important, still demanding, but no longer sacred. That shift changes your body. You stop saying yes to everything out of fear. You stop treating every meeting like your life depends on it. Because panic needs dependence, and dependence weakens when your money begins defending you. Every dollar now carries a hidden question. Will this buy me more freedom or more obligation? That question starts following you everywhere. At the dealership, at the open house, at the checkout screen, at work when someone mentions another promotion that pays more but consumes more of your life. For the first time, you understand that early retirement is not built by one lucky break. It is built by protecting the gap. The hardest pressure is not always from bills. Sometimes it comes from people who love you. Your family sees your income, not your plan. They see the promotion. They see the stability. They assume you have extra. Someone needs help. Someone asks for a loan. Someone says you make good money now. The sentence sounds casual, but it carries a hook. If you say yes too often, your future gets weaker. If you say no, you feel guilty. The early retiree learns a hard truth. You cannot build freedom if every emergency around you becomes your financial responsibility. That does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop confusing love with financial self-destruction. So you start practicing a sentence that feels cruel at first. I cannot do that right now. The first time you say it, your stomach tightens. The second time, you feel selfish. The third time, you feel something new. Respect for your own future. Your future self needs protection. Your older body needs rest. Your children need a version of you that is not permanently exhausted. So you make quiet rules. How much you give. How much you invest. How much you keep. Rules sound cold until you realize they protect what emotion would spend. At some point, your numbers begin to look impressive. Your retirement accounts grow. Your brokerage account starts moving on its own. Your net worth crosses a line that younger you would have stared at in disbelief. And that is when the mirage appears. You start thinking maybe you can loosen up. A little more house. A better car. More travel. A kitchen renovation that starts as one number and ends as another. None of these things are evil. That is what makes them dangerous. They become mistakes when they quietly rebuild the prison you spent years escaping. This stage destroys people who are almost free. They did the hard part. They saved. They invested. They built the gap. Then they let success convince them the rules no longer applied. But the math of freedom is not impressed by your income. It only cares how much your life costs. Your retirement date is controlled less by what you earn and more by what you require. One person owns a gap, another owns a performance. And performances are expensive. You stop envying income. You start studying dependence. You stop asking who looks successful. You start asking who has options. And quietly, you choose options. Again, every raise, every bonus, every temptation. The night before the parking garage, your house is quiet. Not peaceful. Quiet, there is a difference. Your spouse is sitting at the kitchen table with the laptop open. Assets, expenses, healthcare, taxes, mortgage, retirement accounts, brokerage accounts. The kind of numbers that do not care how you feel. Tonight, the number at the bottom does not say someday. It says now. Not forever rich, not guaranteed, but possible. Possible if you keep your life controlled. Possible if you accept that freedom is not the same as luxury. Your spouse asks, "Are we really going to do this?" You do not answer right away, because the question is not only financial, it is personal. Who are you without the title? Who are you without the meetings? Who are you when your time belongs to you and there is no one left to blame? That is when you understand why early retirement scares people who can afford it. They are not only leaving work, they are leaving the identity that work built around them. Now you are back in the car, 6:42 in the morning, coffee untouched, badge in the cup holder, resignation email open. The same 5 words staring at you. I am resigning. Effective immediately. People pass your windshield and disappear into the building. You recognize their faces, the tired nods, the hurried steps, the small surrender in their shoulders. You used to walk like that. Not because you were weak, because you had to. Your money needed the building. Your identity needed the building. But years ago, you made the decision that changed this morning. You decided that every raise would buy freedom before lifestyle. That was it. Simple enough to ignore. Powerful enough to separate lives. You did not become free by earning more alone. You became free by needing less than you could afford. You became free by letting your investments grow instead of your image. You became free by protecting the gap when nobody understood it. And now the gap has become a bridge. A bridge out of financial dependence. The fear rises. What if the market drops? What if people judge you? What if freedom feels empty? For the first time, you do not answer fear with a purchase. You answer it with truth. You have planned. You have prepared. You are not escaping life. You are taking it back. So you press send. No explosion, no applause. Just a small vibration from your phone. Message sent. The world does not stop. The building does not fall. People keep walking. The traffic light changes. The coffee is still cold. But your life is no longer owned in the same way. Early retirement at 45 is not really about 45. It is about the moment your money stops being a leash. Real freedom is quieter than you imagined. It feels like sitting in your kitchen without checking your email. It feels like taking your child to school without rushing. It feels like walking on a Tuesday morning while everyone else is trapped in traffic and realizing you are not better than them. You just made different trades. They traded raises for lifestyle. You traded raises for time. They bought approval. You bought options. Nobody saw most of it. Nobody saw the cars you did not buy, the houses you did not chase, the upgrades you delayed, the years you looked normal while quietly building an exit. That is why early retirement can look sudden from the outside. People see the resignation. They do not see the decade of decisions behind it. The one decision was never just financial. It was emotional. You decided your future mattered more than looking successful right now. That decision separated you from the version of yourself that needed approval more than freedom. Money did not solve everything. It did not remove uncertainty. But it gave you breathing room. It gave you dignity. It gave you the ability to choose. And that is what wealth is supposed to do. Not make you louder. Not make you untouchable. Just make you harder to control. Because the real retirement is not leaving work. The real retirement is leaving fear as the manager of your life. Subscribe to The Hidden Ledger. Because the next story is about the quiet habits that make freedom possible long before anyone else can see it.